Okay, here I introduce a brand new principle, and I believe it's brand new to the world of mathematical card magic. I call it the even clusters principle. Now, just from the name of the principle, many viewers will be able to deduce the method, but I warn you to not underestimate the power of this simple but useful idea in card magic. So I'm going to show you 3 routines of increasing complexity and surprise, and then at the end of those I will do a tutorial about what is this principle if you didn't quite pick up on it yourself, and talk about some of the key elements in those 3 routines that we'll now watch. So stick around to the end to see the tutorial so that you can put this powerful principle to practice in your own card magic. Now, some people don't know that every deck of cards that's ever been produced actually comes with defective cards. And the defects are not necessarily always physical. The more damaging defects are the ones that deal with the ethereal realm. This deals with the psychic resonance realm, because if they have that kind of defect, they will not allow you to achieve real magic. And so normally what I need to do is I just quickly go through and I toss out the defects, okay, the defective ones, and I just kind of use my intuition to do that. Those are no good. Let's see, maybe no good there as well. Hopefully I'm not throwing out too many good ones. Let's see, most of these are actually feeling, well, let's see, those don't feel very good. Okay, I think the rest should be fine. So we didn't have that many defective ones, less than 10, which is kind of nice. Okay, so what we're going to do with the cards now, because now that I've pulled out any defective cards that would kind of prevent us from achieving what we'd like to achieve here, is I'm going to deal out the cards into 8 piles, okay? And then we're just going to kind of randomly stack those. Okay, so here we go, 8 piles. So here we go, 2 rows of 4 cards each. Boy, I have a lot of cards still. Okay, and we'll just kind of stack those there and these here, okay? Very good. Maybe I'll put that one there. These two can go together, okay? Now, if I have been successful, I should be able to now use my psychic sensitivity to draw some kind of interesting conclusion about these 2 portions of the remaining cards that we decided to work with. Okay, so just give me a second to kind of get a sense of, you know, where we are here and what cards we may have, their distribution within each pie. Oh, that's really weird. Whoa, what I'm sensing here, which is I mean, it's not impossible, but it's highly unlikely. Yes, I'm sensing that somehow, despite all of that crazy randomness, each of these piles consist of the same number of red cards. Why would that be? How likely is that? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh boy, what do you think the chances are? There's exactly 11 red cards here. Not very likely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, how in the world did we do that? Well, of course, as I've talked about before, that could have been chance. Okay, so let's go ahead and just do that again. I'd be very interested to know if I remove the same cards every time, just, you know, kind of using my psychic abilities there to sense which ones are defective and will get us into trouble. But, okay, so we've mixed all the cards again. So let me just quickly go through them, and I normally get a very clear picture as to which ones need to just be thrown out, like those 2 garbage cards. Those 3, oh, that's a lot. And then maybe these 2, I don't think those are any good. No, most of these are okay. That's kind of nice. Maybe one there. I think that's a bad one. Maybe a couple there. Let's see, how are we doing here? I think probably we just need to throw out that last one. Shoot, is that about the same numbers? No, I think we threw out slightly more this time. So I wonder if I messed up in some way. So let me just pick these up without dropping them everywhere. So what we might do differently this time is I think we might go ahead and just we'll just divide up the cards into a few piles. We don't need like a lot of piles, but we might want, well, four piles would be fine. Why don't we stop at 4 here? Okay. So what we're going to do with these 4 piles now is we're going to take each one of these and just divide it into 2. Okay. So those 2 go together. So remember that. Let's see. I'm just doing left, right. Okay. Those 2 go together. Remember that. Let's see. What about these 2 here? These 2 also go together. So we'll make note of that later as well. Sorry, cards are getting kind of sticky here anytime they get warm. Okay, and these 2 go together. So in what sense do they go together? Well, let me check here. Let's see. Oh boy. I'm having a very similar sensation to what I had last time, the first routine. And unbelievably, okay. I can't even vocalize what I think is true here because it's just so highly unlikely, but let's just go one pair at a time. Maybe you'll be able to take in that claim instead of trying to take in the truth of all of this here. But I'm sensing here that we have this exact same number again of red cards in each of these little piles. Oh, what are the chances? Okay, so we have 2 there. 2 there. I was sensing that we also have 2 here. Oh, look at that. We have 2 as well. Okay. Now, believe it or not, I felt it to be true for each and every one of these sets of little piles here. Okay, so we have 2 red, 2 red. Oh boy, come on. Think about the probability of this being the case by chance alone. Okay, so I have a 3 red. I'm sensing that there's 3 red. I have no idea what placement they are, but oh, what? There's only 3 cards. And every single one is red. Okay, what about these here? I'll try not... Man, I keep dropping things. Let me apologize for that. So let me move this down here. How many do we have here? 4 red, so supposedly there's going to be 4 red here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we did it again. How in the world did we do that another time? Well, let's just kind of drive home whether or not there's something going on here. Because, you know, in science you have to repeat the same experiment several times, and then you begin to build faith that, well, maybe such and such is true in general, that you have some kind of general principle here. Okay, so let's just kind of try that again. Okay, do you think that's mixed enough? Okay, now as before, there's going to be non-psychic, non-helpful cards in here that will in fact trip us up and keep us from succeeding. Okay, so let me just concentrate. I'll just kind of stretch here. Okay, so I think that one's no good. I can kind of sense it right off. Let's see, that one for sure, and maybe that one. Sticking to my finger there. Most of these are actually feeling, yeah, I think most of the, well, maybe not those, that one or that one, sorry. Let's see, that it's looking pretty good. Last 2 not so great. Okay, well, did about the same, I suppose. I don't know, maybe fewer defects this time by 1 or 2. Okay, so here we have it again. We have our little packet of cards that we're going to work with. So what I thought we would do is go ahead and do kind of the similar thing that we did last time. But I think what we might do is actually kind of mix them. If you remember, I didn't really mix them. So what we'll do now is, okay, let's put that there. Okay, so it might be good to just give these a good old mix, right? Before we proceed, because that would kind of establish that whatever's going on is happening despite the small probability of it occurring by chance alone. And so that would suggest that some higher power must be operative, right? Something's going on there. Okay, so we'll just kind of mix those up. Okay, and then we'll do a similar thing that we did before. Oh, in fact, we could even get kind of sophisticated here. I guess we could even go like this, Have you seen this kind of thing before? And then here's one little pile, and there's another that we'll check in just a moment. Whoops, sorry about that. Okay, we can do a similar thing here. Okay, that's kind of nice as far as it worked out that we had kind of equal numbers for each pile. So here's another little pair. I'm trying to be neat and tidy, but stay within camera view. Whoops, I'm going out of camera view even as we speak. Okay. Oh, wow, check that out. That was kind of nice that I didn't actually, I had an exact number, right, to have equal piles, so that's kind of cool. Let's see, why don't we do a similar thing here? Yep, I'm just looking at the camera to make sure. Oh, man, we're really doing well here. Lady Luck is smiling on us here with getting these equal packet sizes, okay? Boy, I think I really did get rid of the non-psychic cards. Okay, well, what is the case here? Oh, wow, that's interesting. Yeah. Now, there's a little bit of haziness here in my crystal ball, but one thing I'm sure of. Okay, let me tell you what I'm sure of. Each pair here has the same number of red cards. Okay, I can see that clearly. I know that to be the case. And I think, maybe not all, but I think most of the other pairs also have the same number of black cards. I think there might be an exception. Okay. But unfortunately, I can't see that quite as clearly. So let's focus on the number of red cards matching first. Okay. So that's my hope here, the same number of red cards. Oh, there is indeed. Oh, the same number of black. Okay, there you go. Okay, now what about over here? What's happening with this one? Oh, okay, 2 red. That's kind of nice. 2 red here as well. And equal number of black cards. So we may have nailed all of these. Huh, man, oh man. Even though I didn't quite see it clearly in my mind's eye, but I know that these will match in the number of red cards. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have 4 there. Do we have 4 red here? I don't know. We do indeed, and they do match. And the number of black also. Wow, you're witnessing the impossible here. Okay, 4 red. And I'm feeling like there's 4 red over here as well. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4. And the same number of black. How about that? We matched them perfectly. The number of red in each of the 2 pairs and the number of black in each of these pairs matched perfectly. How did we do that? Now, I didn't see clearly whether or not the blacks would equal in number, but I did see clearly that the reds would, and it looks like my hunch that we would do well with the black was not only accurate, we actually nailed it perfectly with the black cards matching as well. So that is the new mathematical principle I wanted to share with you. Some of you may have deduced the method for all of these routines, and if you did, kudos to you. But if not, I thought I would step through what's going on here, at least a bird's eye view. Now, even though I'm focusing on just red and black cards, this principle can apply to any card characteristic. So cards being hearts, or clubs, or number cards, or face cards, or Fibonacci cards, or any characteristic that you'd like to focus on, this principle can be brought to bear. But since I focused on red versus black in this initial presentation of this idea, I'll go ahead and explain it relative to red and black cards. Okay. So the even clusters principle, okay, what's the idea here? Now this really is a shuffled deck of cards. I just pulled it out. Now what you focus on is, well, as you might guess here, even clusters. Now a cluster is defined to be a sequence of cards, consecutive cards, that have a shared characteristic of interest to you. The shared characteristic here is whether the cards are red. So let's say we focus on red cards. Well, if you look over here, I have two red cards next to each other. Those two together would constitute an even cluster of red cards, because there's two. Let's see, let's look over here. Oh, wow, this worked out fairly well for being shuffled. Here's a little sequence or cluster of 4 red. I have 1 black. Okay, now I have this solitary red here. So the original arrangement that you're looking at here is not an even clusters packet or organization, for the simple reason that it fails right here. Probably fails some other places, like fails right there, just 1. Right here we're fine, 2 red, oh, 1 red, bad. Okay, we're not focused on the black, right? 4 red, oh, 1 red, not good. Ooh, 1 red, that would destroy what we're doing. 2 red, very good. Oh, a bunch, 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect. 1 red, not good. 1 red, not good. And then 1 red down here, not good. Okay. So if we were to remove these upjog cards, what remains, this one we were going to leave, right? What remains is an even clusters packet. Okay. And if you think about the routines, I did all of this under the guise of some cards are psychic. Okay, so some cards have a certain psychic resonance that will enable you to pull off amazing magic, and others are defective from the manufacturer. So we're going to throw those out. Okay, now I tried to hide what I was throwing out. That was just part of the subterfuge for pulling off the effect. And now when you go to do this, I mean, you have the cards towards you anyway. Okay, and so you're just setting them down. In fact, you can even show the spectator what you're setting down, because the key is, if you watch me, I sometimes set down just like 1 red or something, or a red and a black together, or 2 black and 1 red. Okay, so we're only concerned about culling out or weeding out cards that break the even clusters pattern here. Okay, so for example, if I wanted this to be an even clusters, I go through here, these are fine. I go, oh, those are pretty good, good, good. These are all fine, bad. And then I could also throw away the black 7 with it. Oh, wow. Okay, those are, those 2 are no good. Nothing going on with these, garbage. In fact, I need to make sure I'm showing you. I'm almost off camera. Here you could even throw away a whole bunch if you wanted. It won't hurt. We don't care how many black. I have 1 red, 2 black. Sorry, I'm doing all this left-handed, so it's probably hard for you to tell. But you can just throw away, single cards if it accomplishes your goal, like, just the 1 red 2 that's causing the problem, or the 1 red black, or here, a black and a red. That would be fine. Okay, so the idea is you weed out cards that prevent it from being an even clusters packet. Now what's left should be, as long as I haven't made a mistake. So 2 red, 4 black, 2 red, 4 black, 2 red, 4 black, and that's it. Okay? Now think about it. Since we have an even number of red cards, and we don't even care about the black cards for the most part. I mean, you can care about that, and there's certain things you can do with that information, but we're just concerned, okay, are all of the red cards in these even-sized clusters? And they are, okay? So what does that mean Like for example, if I deal out the cards into 2 piles, what are you guaranteed to have happen? So just think about it. If the red are always in even, little packets, will that not guarantee that each half, and it may not even be half, right? We may have more cards in one pile versus another. Okay, so what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, well, it's not going to be a surprise that we're going to have 9 in here as well, because they came in pairs and we just alternately dealt them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that answers part of the secret for routine 1. Now in routine 2, okay, so if I have an even clusters packet, I just want you to think about this before we get there. And then I break it up into subpackets, but I do it at a black card. Okay, what will that enable me to do or be confident about? Okay, so why don't we just quickly, I'll just go through and we'll make this in even clusters. Okay, so 2. Okay, and then maybe we'll pull out 1 there. Okay, 2 there. That's no good. Now you wouldn't do it this way for the spectator. You'd just do it in hand like I said, and do it under the guise of some cards are more psychic than others or whatever. Okay. Okay, 4, 2, 3. In fact, you can even get rid of black to now have 4 red. So you can get even clusters by removing black cards, right? So that's important to do, and I think I did that in one of the presentations. Okay, so what I did with like routine 2 is I said, okay, well, let's break it up into packets. And so all I did was I cut the cards until I saw black. So just think about what that will do for us if you know it's black at the bottom. Okay, and then we'll do another black and then another one. Okay, so let's take a look and maybe we'll put them over here like that. Okay, well, what's going to be true for each of these? They're going to have to be even clusters packets. So we have 4 red, 2 red together, and 2 red. Okay, so it's almost like they're a little microcosm of the bigger packet. Now this has none. Okay, so but that's not a problem. Yeah, that's kind of fun actually. That didn't come up in the tutorial, but it's great. So 4 and 2, because think about what I required to be happen. What did I promise would happen? That they would have the same number of red. Well, if they both have 0, 0 is the same as 0, right? Okay, so so each of these, it's almost like they have offspring now of 4 little even clusters packets. Okay, well, they have that same property, right? That if you deal them into 2 piles, you're guaranteed to have an equal number of red, or whatever characteristic you're focused on, equal number of red in 1, so 3 there, and you'll have 3 here, or sorry, 4 there, I can't count, and 4 here. Okay, now another tricky thing that I did, let's do one that actually, yeah, it has some red, is, you can kind of hide things a little bit. Just use the parity of the position. So this is like position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's not even important that you finish all of the piles with equal numbers. Okay, so think about it. These were in odd positions, right? These 2 were in odd positions. Like, so 1, and then 2, and then 3 is an odd position, and then 4. Okay, so if I combine together the pile 1 and pile 3, and then I combine together pile 2 and pile 4, those are guaranteed to have the same number of red cards. Why is that? Because pile 1 and 2 have the same number of red cards as each other, and pile 3 and 4 have the same number of red cards as each other. So if you grab pile 1 and pile 3 and then pile 2 and pile 4, these will have to also have the same number of red. So here we have, 3, and then 3 there as well. Okay, so that's another trick what I did. In addition to that, if you have an even clusters, like I do, packet, it can be randomly cut or Charlier shuffled, which is far more powerful. So Charlier shuffle won't change the fact that if you now deal them out into 2 piles, or like in the 4 like I did, each of these are guaranteed to have the same number of red cards, or whatever cards you've set up as an even clusters. So we have 3 here, 3 red, and 3 red there. Okay? So that's pretty much the secret here. Now this one's fun because, do you remember this funny packet here? And the promise is, you know, you claim that, oh, wow, that's weird. These have the same number of red cards just like the other pairs did. Let's check, you know. And you go like this and go, wait, oh, I think I blew it. I think I blew it. There's no red there. Can't have the same number of red as this one. Sure it can. They both have 0. So there you go. Okay, so that's the even clusters principle. I'm not aware of it out there as a principle, so I gave it a name that I believe is descriptive here. But I have come up with dozens upon dozens of card effects that use this principle, and this principle completely hides what's going on. Spectator hasn't a clue. I mean, it just looks like genuine magic when they see it unfolding. And hopefully you felt that when you watch routine 1, 2, and 3 in the presentation portion of this video. So anyway, thank you for watching, and take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.